Hi, this is Liz Whitaker, going live with Three of Cups Divine Arts. I will give this a few minutes for people to join in, and I will also share around. Again, welcome to Divination Station, brought to you by True Paranormal, the podcast. I'm Liz Whitaker, your host for this broadcast. Today we'll be discussing The Lovers, and I will be following up with some sample readings. When you join the live broadcast, please take a moment to drop your name, where you come from, and your pronouns in the comments. If you're watching the replay, comment with #replay so we know people are interested in the replay. And it also helps us to follow your comments and respond. I would also love if you could tell me what decks you've been working with, either a new deck, one that you are beginning a relationship with, one that resonates with you, or just what you've been working with this week. Don't forget to like, wow, or love react the video. Share to your page, tag your friends in the comments. You'll not only be helping us improve our organic reach on the page, but you'll also be helping others who might be interested to find my show. I hope you enjoy the show, and I look forward to getting to know you better. We have some people joining in, working on sharing the video. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and try to share it to my page as well. And okay, so sharing this out. And we have a few people joined here. We have Lauren May. Hi. Becky and Heather. Erica and Felicia. Hi. Courtney. Hi. Thank you so much for joining. As always, once you pop in, if you could please introduce yourself. Just give us your name, where you're from, and your pronouns. And yeah, I would love to hear if you do work with tarot. If you could let me know what deck you've been working with. I received a new deck for Christmas, and I have been working with that. I will show an example as we go on. It's called Tarot of the Pagan Cats, and I'm pretty stoked on it. And Felicia says she's just getting home. I had a divination roundtable today, and a few people were not able to make it out, and there'll be more. Don't worry. Erica says she'll be on and off. That's totally understandable. Golden Thread Tarot app. Yes, I do love that app. It's really good for kind of on the go or when I'm at work, and I can just kind of really quickly pull a card up. Osho Zen deck. I do have that deck. I haven't worked with it too much recently, but yeah, I would love to see some spreads and some interpretations from that deck. And the Necromonicon deck. I do like when Lauren pulls that out. And Courtney from Ohio. Oh, Thelema. I'm not familiar with that deck. And Heather said she's working with the Dreams of Gaia deck, and I've seen that deck. I haven't worked with it extensively, but it looks gorgeous. And Becky says working with the Rider-Waite-Smith Centennial deck, trying to pull out the Light Seers. Ooh, that one looks really cool, and I would definitely be interested in watching some information on that. And Lauren May, yes, also from Buffalo. So again, today our broadcast will be on The Lovers. We finished up the Hierophant last week, and that was all about conformity, all about looking for strength in others, either from organized religion, institutional learning, or even just social groups can often add that support that we need. All right, and I shared it around. Okay, and again, I did forget to print my notes out, so I will be reading from my phone, which I do not prefer to do, but that's okay. Okay, so the Lovers is the 6th card in the Major Arcana. So we are at number 6. And Courtney is in Elyria, and that is in Ohio as well, correct? So we had, before we get into that, I just want to talk about, we had a full moon on the 10th, which had some crazy energy. I know a lot of people were feeling really almost antsy. I know I was feeling really antsy and jittery on Friday and kind of resolved. Now I'm just feeling a little exhausted from it all. I did a reading event on Saturday and really had to kind of ground and protect myself while doing that. So the Lovers, I do have to show this now that it has my lipstick mark on it. It's a little, it also has the strainer in it as a Christmas present. I am drinking a honey chamomile tea. All right. And Laura May said, I really want to get the Emily Autumn's Asylum Oracle. Ooh. Yes, it's just enough tea to get me through the broadcast. Okay, we're about, I got little bits of chamomile in there. 807. So we are talking about the Lovers today. So in the Lovers, it is card number 6. It is the card of Gemini. So the planet Mercury in the element of air. And the Lovers is all about choice. It's all about partnership, and it's all about what we do with that. Coraline just joined. Ashley, hello. And yes, if you comment #shared, I will be doing 1-card pulls at the end of the show. So make sure you do share that out. Thank you. So here, just looking at the card, we have 2 figures. We have a man and a woman, and it's really pretty obvious that it is, it does symbolize the Garden of Eden. Eve over here, we have the tree of life. So it has the fruit-bearing tree. Adam is a tree of knowledge. And that is represented by the fire. And then we have the figure above. It looks like an angelic figure, a sun above that, and some clouds and some mountains. So right off the bat, well, it's called the Lovers. So everybody is really quick to jump to this being a card of romantic relationships, which it certainly can be, but it is definitely not the only partnership that the Lovers indicates. Shows 2 figures underneath the angelic wings. The figure is thought to be Raphael, and that was actually not indicated in any specific source. And I thought I had updated notes on this because so there's a correlation between Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Felicia, thank you for sharing. Ashley says, Colorado, Yogi Tea. Yes. So this can mean romantic relationships, but that also has to do with the cards that fall around it. So we always want to look at what cards fall around that. It can also have to do with business partnerships. I see this, business partnerships, friendships. It is not always romantic relationships. 2 of Cups, I find, is actually more indicative of that. So the Hierophant previously led us to our understanding of our place in the universe, how we fit in within that structure. So what next but to take that journey with someone else? The card represents choices, as represented in the Tarot Marseille, and we'll look over this a little bit closer in a bit. So in this one, we have a figure of the man almost flanked by two women, so it has a little bit different feel than the Rider-Waite, and above we have Cupid. And of course, you know, the myth of Cupid's arrow, kind of choosing his mate for him. It represents joining together in a harmonious business relationship. Can also tell you to reflect on yourself and self-love. Really big on this card, having to do with self-love and really how we resolve our relationship with ourself. The Lovers can remind you to love every part of yourself and to take a look in the mirror and love that reflection. So instead of looking for another person to complete you, think Gemini. You know, Gemini has the two halves. I think of it as really looking and loving the parts of yourself. And once you can kind of do that, other people are going to see the beauty in your self-love. Okay, let me just catch up on the comments here. Yes, a polyamorous lovers card. I am actually surprised that that isn't more relevant yet. I know, I should have brought that up. In the New World deck, the Lovers is actually a woman, sort of androgynous, definitely a little bit on the plus size, looking in a mirror and almost challenging accepted beauty standards and knowing that you can look in a mirror and love yourself no matter what. And to me, that's a really powerful interpretation of the Lovers than just, I'm looking to find a partner. And I've no problem doing relationship spreads, but I think there's always a little bit deeper to go in a relationship spread. Yes. So we all want to find love and be loved. So how do you show love and feel love and share love? That's kind of some of the deeper questions that the Lovers brings up for me. It's not just, you're going to find your partner in, a week, or you're going to find your partner here, or whatever. It's more like, how do you know when that love is there? And which actually reminds me of the 5 love languages. So sort of tangential. I actually did do a workshop on the love languages, which really asks you to evaluate how you love, how you show it, how you feel it, and really trying and finding a partner that is complementary to that and is definitely not opposed to that. And the card is also about choice and morality. We see that with older versions of the tarot, like the Tarot Marseille. So we do have the idea of the man standing underneath Cupid, kind of showing, and the man is in between two women. One is almost a little bit more matronly, and then the other is a vivacious young blonde. And he's kind of looking over at one, and the other's kind of like pawing for his attention. And then we have Cupid above, and whose arrow is Cupid going to? It's going to the young blonde. So here, it almost indicates the choice that the person is making to maybe leave his mother's home, leave ancestral home, and strike out on his own. And Cupid is kind of assisting in that. Other interpretations are choosing between, two paramours, choosing between two people. But I think at this point, there are a lot of people that say you don't necessarily have to choose one or the other, but we have to make that choice and choose the moral ground of open and honest communication if we do choose to go the polyamorous or ethical non-monogamous route. And I'm just going to take one moment and keep track of my shares. So let's see. I wish I could read at the same time and do this. So again, the figure above here is said to be Raphael, but there's no actual specific notation to that in the original pictorial key to the tarot, which is written by Arthur Edward Waite, which was his notes on the original tarot. When I initially was researching the Lovers, I found that out, that it was not actually Raphael. People assign that to Raphael because of the associations with the Garden of Eden. Okay, and it looks like we have quite a few shared, so I'm going to make sure that I do leave enough time at the end, and I'm not hurrying. Okay, we're down to, I got Ashley. Okay, the Necromonicon Tarot is the Deep One and his Bride, which Lauren interprets as loving your shadow, which is something Bridget, another presenter on Three of Cups, presented in Mystic Journeys on Saturday, where she talked about reclaiming your personal seat of power. Thank you. And I have to catch up on that one too. I was reading at my event and I just haven't been able to sit down. And yes, Courtney, I got you. You're my first one. So yeah, with the Lovers, there's a lot going on beyond, romantic relationships. Not that there's anything wrong with getting relationship readings. I think it just deserves a much deeper look than I've seen some readers give. So in the Tarot de Marseille, we do have that idea of Cupid and kind of shooting that arrow down. So, Cupid's arrow, we're going to see it soon enough around Valentine's Day. Whoever is hit by Cupid's arrow is the one that falls in love with the next person they see. So we have the indication here that younger blonde is kind of pawing for that attention. I keep saying pawing. I guess that's just the word that pops into my head with that. So he's got a choice to make. So we have that idea of choice. And here, the idea of choice, the woman, Eve, is looking up at the angel. She is looking up at that angelic presence. He is looking at her. So the choice is between the rational, the tree of knowledge, or the emotional, the tree of life. And with that choice, we tend to think of that as a binary choice, the masculine, the logic, the feminine, the emotional. And I think with the Lovers, it kind of asks us to look at both sides. And, we might present more one than the other. At the Tarot Roundtable today I had, there was a really great discussion about divine masculine and divine feminine and how to balance the two. Yeah, that was a really great discussion. Fawning, yes. And fawning also has newer indications with trauma bonding and, being trauma informed and knowing that that is a coping technique and something that people tend to do afterwards. Okay, so we'll go ahead and show, we've already talked about the Tarot de Marseille. So we're going to go ahead and look at the Thoth deck. And of course, we already know this is going to have a ton of imagery in there. So we have a lot of binary in there. we have the man, the woman, the king, the queen. And then down here, it looks like we have 2 children, and one is holding a cup, one is holding a sword. So that can be looked at, as symbolic of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. We have a white bird of prey. We have a lion over here. And here we have the snake around the egg. The snake around the egg is traditionally, it's a symbol of birth and of new beginnings. Egg of life, ovum, vivum, something. Bennabelle Wen talks about it in her Spirit Keepers Tarot, so that's how I can recognize that. And up here at the top, we also have Cupid. We have the 2 more figures on the corner, and this whole thing in the back looks like there's like 2 arms like that holding, so that's the representation of the angel. Oh, there's so much. And then, of course, down here, we're going to have the Hebrew letter and then Mercury, Gemini. And then we have Tarot of the Cat People. So here we have a couple, oh my gosh, and then the cats down below. So there's that. This one is a little bit more clear as far as romantic relationships. And Becky said she's been challenged when she's indicated the Lover's card as a choice or of jealousy between lovers. Yes. It's interesting to hear someone present the view of the card as opposed to what people often think. Yes, I do have the second. I have the Vitruvian edition of the Spirit Keepers Tarot. I've only read for myself with it because there's just so much in there, and I haven't brought it out here yet because I'm not quite ready to talk about it yet. And the snake around the egg is the main symbology of the world card in the Necromonicon. Yes. Michelle says hello. Hello. If you are just joining, please go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and your pronouns. And if you go ahead and share, hashtag shared, and I will pull a card for you. And I also wanted to show, I have the before and after tarot, and I thought this would be a really interesting card to show the before and the after. So the before and after tarot is basically the look at what happens right before and then right after. So it's the same card, but it's going to have the action before and the action after. So in the before tarot, we have the Lovers. So pretty much the same symbolism. And here we kind of see the Eve figure just relaxing. And he's kind of there to pick her up, to pull her up. So she, I see choice here as she has to choose whether or not she gets up and stands with him or if she stays by herself and just kind of, chills. Yeah, she's relaxing, she's chilling, maybe she's doing some meditating, some self-care, taking a nap, and he's coming over and offering. He's inviting her to come with him. So then we have the Rider-Waite. So they're standing together. And then the after tarot shows that moment right after. So here we show Eve, the Eve figure, handing Adam the apple from the tree of life. And above, we see Raphael now holding the sword. So that choice has been made. And now they're both looking at each other. She is no longer looking up at the angelic figure. She is now her gaze is with him. So it's just kind of an interesting look to see what happens before and after. Michelle is in Washington State and shared. Hi and welcome. All right, and Jenna just joined. Hello. And I do want to, this is the Tarot of the Pagan Cats that I got for Christmas. It's a small card. It's a little guy. So here, you can't really see the white cat so well. Maybe I can get it over here. There's a black cat and a white cat, and then a black and white cat above them. And it has the idea of like the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine coming together. And we have the idea of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and the sun. So the symbolism is still there. It's just tweaked a little bit. And I think this down here, the apple is actually a little cat toy, and they're going to play with it and be happy. Yep, the angel is right fixing to kick him right out. He's like, yep, out. You chose poorly. And that'll probably be the only Indiana Jones reference of the show. You're welcome. We are about halfway through, so I am going to go ahead before we go any further with the other decks. I do want to go ahead and share. Divination Station is sponsored by True Paranormal, the podcast. Leo Rizzuti takes you on a journey into the supernatural and mysterious, the strange, and the things that simply cannot be explained. Join in by following True Paranormal, the podcast, on Facebook, where you'll be treated to spooky stories, tips for doing your own investigations, and interviews with paranormal investigators. Every week as you catch up with Leo on True Paranormal, the podcast. I actually did just follow that today. It's on deck for me to listen to at work tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. Okay. So as we're talking about other versions of the Lovers, this one is the New Wave Tarot, and it is Robert Smith and Mary Poole. So it is Robert Smith from The Cure and his very long-time wife, Mary Poole. So, and I think this is a really interesting and like poignant version of the Lovers. It is not only a romantic relationship, but it is a romantic relationship that has stood the test of time. They've been together forever. And, you know, it's Robert Smith from The Cure. He wrote Love Song about her. And, you know, we see Cupid down there, and they were obviously, you know, hit by Cupid's arrow. And, you know, The Cure you can think of as, you know, having really like sad, gothy, mopey songs, but behind it, there's a really strong base of love and partnership too. So I thought that was a really great example of the Lovers card. So you not only have a relationship that stands the test of time, but also really great like artistic dedication to that. I picked up a vintage gem tarot in a lot that I bought. It was like, I think 5 or 6 decks. And I was interested to see what it would show for this one. So this one is Ruby. The Lovers is Ruby. So Ruby is, you know, the stone, red stone does represent love, self-harmony. Love is brought into harmony by the ruby. People who lack in self-love or love for others can use the stone to meditate on those qualities. The ruby fills our heart with love for ourselves and love for fellow human beings. And it's that really great, oh my gosh, kind of reminds me of like a Jolly Rancher color, like especially those ones, the gem quality. So yeah, ruby is the stone of the Lovers in this deck. And I did read the little white book for that. So those were not my words. And Coraline is asking what deck that is. That is the New Wave Tarot. I got it on Etsy ages ago. I believe you can still get it. But yes, I have had it for ages. And Lauren says she did a quick rune reading while I was talking about the divine feminine, and as soon as I said the word emotion, Laguz flipped over, which is the emotion rune. Synchronicity. I love it. Ashley says hi. Hi. If you are just joining, go ahead and say, where you're from, your pronouns, and if you share, hashtag shared, and I will pull a card for you. Okay, so I did want to touch base on the reading from last week. So last week, the tarot forecast was Three of Cups, Nine of Swords, and Judgment. So as you kind of reflect and look at maybe what happened over the past week, did any of those cards really represent any energies for you? Any celebration, any kind of realizing that you're not in as bad a situation as you thought? You kind of woke up from that nightmare. You still, I pulled the 10 instead of the 9, sorry. And then Judgment, again, is that call to reckoning. I will pull out the 9. I know this week I have had a few readings and just a few nudges from the universe, all basically saying the same thing. And I had to kind of come to that reckoning. Here's the 9. I had to come to that moment of reckoning and really do really realize I'm going to have to do some work and really learn what focus means. Because as an Aries, I like to do all of the things all of the time. So focus is kind of a really difficult thing for me because there's really no reason in my head that I can think of at the time as to why I can't. But the reality of the situation is without focus, I'm not doing my best in any area. So I'm going to look to really fine-tune what that means to me. And yes, focusing is hard. Becky says, really excited about things happening. 3 of Cups. Absolutely. I am very excited to be part of the network. I talk about it whenever I can. So definitely trying to get the word out there. Lists help with focus. Yes, they do. The problem with lists is I just keep making them. They help me with day-to-day tasks and smaller things, but big picture is where my opportunity is to focus. I have to kind of narrow down the big picture things that I'm working on. And I did start a pro-con list today for that. And Ashley says she feels that that's a Cancer thing too. I think so. Cancers always want to help others. They always want to take on everybody else's issues, everybody else's problems, take on everybody else's burdens so they don't have to. And that's where that kind of comes from. And Lauren says, I felt that reading from the process of beginning to work with Agrabota, as well as starting medication, though it may not be the order you drew, was like sword. Yeah. So that would be flipping the cups and the swords. But the way I read is kind of, I move cards around and kind of tell that narrative, and then I move them back. Erica, you are not the first person this week to say I need a vision board, and it's only Monday. So guess what Liz is going to be doing? Starting a vision board. And Leslie says hello. Organized chaos, multitasker. Oh yeah, all of that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a 3-card forecast for the upcoming week. I'm going to talk about the tarot tip of the week real quick, and then we're going to get into some readings. And as I am shuffling, please head over to my page, which is Divination Station Tarot. I do have a Facebook page. There is a group attached to that. If you are not part of the group, you can ask to join, and we'll get you in there. If you are in the Buffalo area, you can reach out to me for individual readings. I also do parties. I love tarot parties. They're so fun. Events, anything like that. I can also do distance readings, so any email, Skype, anything like that. And I think we're about good. Yes, too many ideas, never enough time. 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups has actually been coming up quite a bit, either in readings for others that I've done, and kind of, when you shuffle and you pull out cards and cards pop out, 9 of Cups has popped out. And 9 of Cups is all about fulfillment. Cups are emotions. And what I'm really feeling from this card, as I've been pulling it recently, is not to be detached from emotions. He's sitting there. He looks kind of well-to-do. He looks kind of smug, to be honest. Like he's proud of what he's done, and that's fantastic. Absolutely, be proud of your accomplishments. But the way he's sitting is he's not engaged. He's not working with them. Thank you. Ashley says the group is fantastic. Thank you. And Leslie. So with this one, like I said, recently when it's been popping up, I have kind of had that feeling of be proud of how far you've come, but the journey's never over. You feel fulfilled, and that's great. We've done work. We're where we are. We're further than where we were. We worked some things out, but there's still some things to work on. And don't stop. Not don't give up. Don't stop. Never stop working. We always have work to do. And be engaged with your emotions. Don't just sit in front of them. Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles is all about that new opportunity. Breath of fresh air just kind of came to me with that. So kind of taking in a little bit of nature. The lilies down here and the archway are really popping out to me with this. As a way to kind of stay grounded in the winter months. We can kind of forget about being outside and grounding, especially if you're here on East Coast. It's not cold out right now, but the ground is gross. It's muddy, it's gross. It will be until May. That's fine. Can't go out there without your shoes. I wouldn't, at least. So we can kind of forget about that actual earthly grounding. So looking for that space to do it, I think is important. And, of course, Ace of Pentacles is always going to be that new opportunity for start a new job. Absolutely. So Ace of Pentacles is also the idea of, that new job, that new opportunity coming forward in the material realm, in the realm of resources, renewing your resources. And Wheel of Fortune. Good. So Wheel of Fortune is gardening will help me with grounding. Yes. I kind of want to do a patio garden this year, maybe. Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is that idea that things are always in a state of flux. If nothing really stays in one place very long. The seasons change. The phase of the moon changes. Days of the week change. Everything changes all the time. And with this, if you're not in a super good spot right now, it's going to change. Good fortune will come. And there's that idea of it's a busy card. There's a lot going on. And you have the 4 seasons, the 4 elements. We have alchemical symbols. And I believe this card has come up in my weekly forecast before, because I kind of remember talking about it. So it's just that idea of all of the world's knowledge kind of spinning and coming to you. That's what came through. All right. And Ashley says she went out into the woods and found this amazing tree and just sat there. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And Gretchen is popping in, invited by Courtney. Hi. All right. So as I'm shuffling for my card pulls, I believe I have everyone. I've been trying to keep a list here. If I do not call you, please just pop a message in there. Pop a comment in there. Tarot tip for this week is protect your energy. As I do events, especially events that are in public spaces, protecting your energy is very important. And Tracy just popped in. Hi. Real easy way to protect your energy. Do a grounding, not spell. Do something to ground you. I know a lot of psychic mediums will call in the Archangel Michael, and he protects from negative influences. When I do readings and events, I wear black tourmaline. That usually is enough to help me. And Felicia says her phone might die. If it does, she'll watch the replay. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get Felicia in first so she can comment as she sees necessary and in case her phone dies, because technology. So yes, always protect yourself and protect your energy when you are doing anything in public events with other people, even online, even over the computer. That can definitely happen. I have selenite. Selenite's a really good cleanser, protector, and it itself doesn't need to be cleansed. So I'm going to set it right on my computer. Okay. So for Felicia, I pulled the Hierophant. My last live was all about the Hierophant. It's all about teaching and learning. Just to sum it up real quick. I just took a class with Felicia called Crystal Curious. She did an amazing job weaving together chakras and crystals. It was a great class on the full moon charged crystals. It was incredible. So I think embracing that teacher energy is really kind of what's coming down right now. And Erica said Michael is her oldest son's name for the Archangel, and then Gabriel the Archangel. All right, so I'm going to start from the top. So Felicia has the Hierophant. And yeah, selenite is amazing. Chloe, yep, go ahead and share and hashtag shared, and we'll be sure to get a card for you. I'm going to do these kind of quickly. So about 15 minutes to wrap up before Coraline goes live at 9. So for Courtney, we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant's all about introspection, kind of spending alone time, really checking in with yourself. If you've been spending a lot of time trying to please others, now's a really good time to step back and see what you need. And Felicia just said, I just had a conversation. Perfect. So for Courtney, again, Courtney gets the Hermit. And really, like I said, really check in, do some introspection, really check in with that alone time. Make sure you're getting it first and foremost. All right, and next, Coraline. Coraline has the Empress. Perfect. So I think the Empress is a perfect representation of organized chaos and multitasking. She is relaxing. She's chilling. She's got all of this nature going on around her. She's got the emotions. She's got the water. She's creating. And that's kind of that, I feel that energy right there. So keep creating, keep creeping it real. Keep going on that path. And also the Venus and the Taurus energy. Make sure, you are like grounded and staying nice and grounded in that. All right, and we got Gretchen. All right. So Ashley is next. Ashley, Ace of Wands. So breaking our major arcana trend here. Ace of Wands is the new energy in the energy realm. So it's that new opportunity. Spirit is bringing forth a new opportunity for you to express your energetic side. Whether it's creative energy, whether it's a new, Lacey just joined. Hi, and we got Tracy. Lacey and Tracy. So look out and see really what opportunity the universe is handing to you. All right, and next up we have Becky. Strength, back on the major arcana. Strength is all about, kind of really facing challenges with aplomb, facing challenges and handling them with that inner fortitude, not forcing a situation to happen, but everything works together beautifully. I'm playing with this now. And the loop is infinite. We have the lemniscat up there, which shows that their relationship is an infinite feedback loop. She is there for the lion. The lion gives her a feeling of that strength. And if you are just popping on, if you do share and hashtag shared, we will go ahead and I will pull a card for you. And this is definitely the most I've had in an evening, so I'm trying to do these expeditiously so I don't go over. All right, and Heather. Heather gets the Ace of Cups. So clearly the universe has some big things going on right now. There's been major arcana cards, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is all about something's going to feel so overwhelmingly emotional. Of all of the aces, this one seems to be the most. So the spirit is handing you this full cup. It's like a fountain. It's not just a cup, it's a fountain. And that can sometimes feel overwhelming. But often it's kind of, it's what we wanted. It might not be in the way that we expected, but it's what we wanted. And Lacey, how often do I do this? I broadcast live on Three of Cups Divine Arts every Monday at 8 p.m. I'm going over the Fool's Journey, so looking at one major arcana card per show, doing a lesson on that, doing a tarot forecast for the week, touching base with the previous week, and ending the show with some single card pulls. All right, and Lauren May is next. Two of Wands. Two of Wands is all about planning. It's all about moving forward and knowing that you have the ability to make the opportunity. So you are looking out over the countryside and kind of deciding, like, do I stay here? Do I take over the world? You're going to take over the world. That's for you. Boom. Yep, Chloe, I gotcha. I'm just going in order. All right, I do have Ashley next. Were there two Ashleys or just one? Well, this one just popped out for Jenna. And this is, again, the Nine of Cups. So for you specifically, I would definitely check in with this energy. It can be, make sure you are checking in with your emotions and you are very much engaged in them. All right. Lacey, thank you. So we'll get you in too. And we have Grace Chapman pop in. If you do share, just share, hashtag shared, and we will get you a card. And if you do tune in to the show as it's going on, you also get a nice tarot lesson there. All right, and we're down to Erica. Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is perceived danger. It is feeling like you are trapped. You're not sure how to move forward, and you're kind of trapped in your own thoughts, not sure how to move forward. With this card, it really asks you to kind of check in. Is the danger real or is it perceived? Is it fear or fact? And once you kind of determine that, all she has to do is take some steps forward. She will be out of that like gate of swords and she can move forward. Yes. All right. Leslie, this next one is for you. And I know, and if there are Ashleys on here, could you just hashtag hi? And because I don't remember if there was one or two. I do have Ashley Aleos, and that was who I drew for initially, but I may have written your name down twice. All right, Leslie's ready. Me too. Here we go. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is all about almost trying to control stability. It's trying to control your resources, control what makes you feel stable. And Pentacles are earthy. They're the earth elements, material items. It's wealth, it's resource. And when we hang on to things, okay, so you were the only Ashley. And Rochelle. So when you hold on too tightly, it is difficult to receive. So this is kind of that idea of, you give to get. So Four of Pentacles, like each of his feet are on Pentacles. He's got one on his head. He's holding one. He can't receive any more. So check in with what you're holding on to tightly and really do a check-in with that. What can you let go of to receive? All right, Gretchen. Gretchen is next. Six of Cups. Six of Cups is all about nostalgia and kind of how we felt happy as a child and really kind of wanting to capture that. I would say just make sure it's not toxic nostalgia. We're not pining for a moment that never really existed, and kind of check in with that energy. If you are looking for something and striving for something that didn't really exist, you're not going to get it. So while the cups look full and we remember them being full, were they always that full? And kind of ask yourself that. Okay, Tracy is up next. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is work. It is hard work. It is perfection. It is every step, every step has to be towards perfection. Every step has to be towards that ultimate goal. Again, Pentacles, earthy. We've got a lot of earth going on here. And make sure you're not working too hard. Tracy? Yeah. Okay. Jocelyn too. Okay, Lacey is next. All right, so for Lacey, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is all about balancing those resources. These are free. These are just one card readings. They're with a program. You just got to share. Pop in, share, engage with the live, and we're good. So Two of Pentacles is all about balance in that financial realm. Things come in, finances, resources come in, resources go out. Resources come in and go out. It is the idea of having fun with it and, understanding that it's going to be up and down, understanding it's going to be topsy-turvy, and allowing yourself to go with the flow. All right, so we have a few left. We have Chloe, Adriani, and Rochelle. And after that, I'm going to have to cut it off. And Lacey says she is feeling that. All right. So for Chloe, we have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is kind of all about everybody trying to do something at the same time without really stopping to check in with how everyone else is doing it. There's a bit of a disruption there. It is energy that can be kind of streamlined a bit. Perfect. It can also have that idea of, it does have a bit of playfulness to it, so almost like play fighting. But I would say, Chloe, if you are, having some issues or some difficulties with everybody, kind of doing the same thing at the same time, kind of check in with that energy. And we do have Adriani and Rochelle. I'm going to go ahead and get these done so I can wrap up, and stay tuned for Coraline. So for Adriani, Page of Swords. Again, pages are new energy. They're learning how to communicate, learning a new way to communicate, how how am I received? So kind of doing a check-in with how you are communicating and what lessons can be taken from that. What can you do better? He's really eager to get out there, really eager to do the thing. Okay, and Rochelle, the devil. So the devil is all about being bound to something that you expectations. So what I'm getting is being bound to expectations and the feeling that you can't leave, you can't get out. But if you look really, and I know we're at 9 o'clock and I'm wrapping this up pretty quickly. If you look real close, you can actually see that the people can actually take the chain off and leave. That's your choice. Real quick, it is the opposite of the lovers, which when we get to the devil, I will go into this in more detail. It is kind of a dark mirror version of the lovers. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I am Liz Whitaker of Divination Station Tarot. Thank you for joining me on 3 of Cups. And definitely stay tuned. I'm going to pop off. Coraline's going to pop on and watch her live. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great night.